Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this edition of SportsView on nearmedia.tv. Monday, the 28th of July. Gosh, another year, nearly, well, half gone at this stage. Anyway, good evening, Derwynne, and welcome.
Hey Pat, hi Joe.
Good evening, Joe, and welcome.
Even Pat, even Derwynne.
Now, we were talking before we came on here about soccer, and we're going to start off appropriately enough with soccer. The English ladies team won the Euro, back-to-back Euros over the weekend, and a fantastic result for English soccer, for English ladies soccer, and well done to them as well. I don't think I have a picture of them anyway, but anyway, I know who they were. And they won after extra time in a penalty shootout, 3-1. It was 1-all after extra time. And Chloe Kelly laid on the equaliser. Chloe Kelly got the winning goal and the penalty shootout. We claim Chloe Kelly for ourselves, with a name like that. The Irish girl won it for England.
Jack Charlton strikes again.
Yeah. I'm surprised Jack never got around to get around anyone like that.
You've got to give it to them though, haven't you? Because they stuck in there. They were dogged, weren't they?
They were. That's the word. Yeah, they were. I mean, they overcame a very good Swedish side.
Yeah, I mean they basically exceeded their own play, didn't they? They didn't play very well as a football team, did they? Really?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that you enter a tournament, and you enter a tournament to win it. It doesn't matter how you play, you enter it to win it, and whatever way you have to do it, you do it. Whether it's in regulation play that you score goals, or whether it's in a shootout, in a penalty shootout. So that's the whole. If they hadn't won it, they'd have been slagged uphill and down Dale. But because they win it and they don't win it in style. Yeah, I mean, when did style ever count?
No. Well, in a year's time, the record books aren't going to say that they're just going to say it's a win, isn't it?
Well, it's like Seve when he won what did he win the Masters or the US Open that time, when he never hit a fairway all the way around.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
He's slogging his way around the course. He ends up winning it.
Yeah. I mean, that's where he got the car park champion from, wasn't it?
Yeah. At
Lytham. Yeah, when he played last round with Hale Irwin.
Yeah. It's
79, that was.
Yeah. So you can say what you like about it. I mean, the England men's teams got slagged off often enough for not winning tournaments. Now the women's team is winning, and they're getting slagged off for not playing well.
Women's soccer on the world stage is a young game. You must remember. People must remember that, and you can't compare women's soccer with men's soccer because men's soccer has been around for a long time, and has a long time of development. It's only recently in England we had the first £1 million ladies player in soccer. £1 million, they give that in wages to a lot of Premiership players for keeping their hair tidy on the pitch, every week, So
I don't know if you saw the game last night, but on ITV they showed. I think it was a bit of a Mickey tape, but they showed back in the mid-70s reporting on ladies football, and it was something silly like Coventry was playing Birmingham ladies in a local park, and the reporter was there from Midlands Today or something.
Yeah,
he was saying like 29 spectators. This is going to take off. It's a joke, and it was really derogatory reporting. But compare it to today, right. But I mean, Ian Wright was just brilliant. After the game, he turned around and he said, "Can someone get that old boy on the phone?"
So I mean, but that was the, that was the way of thinking back then. I remember.
Go on,
sorry, Derwynne, go on.
No, go on.
I mean, I remember going out to Clare Street Park in Limerick, watching my sisters play out there, back in the 70s. You know, so you know, I mean, so the game's been around for a little while because they were playing inter-farm. They didn't really have a club system back then, but they had the inter-farm system that was going, both men's and women's and what have you. So I mean, they've been playing. It's just that, you know, the United States got a leg up because of the college system and
Yes, yes, yeah,
and what was it, Title IX, that
yeah,
you had to do the same for girls as you did for
yes,
boys, and you had to have equal amount of sports. And those schools that didn't have soccer teams but had football programs had to have girls soccer.
yeah.
So that was a huge, you know, step up for women's soccer, girls soccer in the US, and it's gone that. Now the rest of the world is catching up, you
There was
know,
a
and the
there was
game.
yeah, there was a report today on Channel 5, as a result, they were talking about the effect that the ladies team has on girls in particular, because girls in particular leave sport earlier than boys. You know, they just give up. You know, it's a fact
Yeah,
of life.
but there
And
was
this,
nothing there for it.
yeah, this place, I think it was Durham now. I'm not too sure. But they had no girls team prior to the last European soccer. They have 12 teams now, and there are still girls willing to join. All young tots right up along the, and it's healthy as well. It's a health thing as well. You know, it's very
Yes, it
good for
is.
them, and it's a mental health and physical health, the whole lot for girls as well. You know,
Yeah,
and
I mean, do you know when you like we're all similar ages, aren't we? Right? If you
yeah,
think about it, when we went to school, there was always sport at school, wasn't there?
yeah,
yeah.
always kicking a ball.
I mean, I must have played. I mean, I played football for primary school, for my secondary school, all the way through from first year to fifth year. And I mean, football was my thing. I loved football. I mean, I
Yeah,
still love. But we must have played so much football because playtime it was classes. We ran our own league in
yes.
playtime. That it was my class against that class, and we had a
So
league.
Joe, you must remember the street leagues.
Yeah,
We
Oh
had
yeah,
there was even the street leagues as well. You know,
yeah.
it was always present in your whole in your growing up,
I
always
mean,
present.
we played football at school, come home and play football on the street,
Yeah,
or we were lucky we'd go up to Wembley Stadium and play in the car park. But I
yeah,
mean, but it was just what you did, wasn't it? It was just normal. You got on your bike and went and played football.
yeah.
well,
That's it.
we didn't have to. We only had to walk around the corner, or we walked out onto the street and played because there
Yeah,
was no
yeah.
cars out
It
there.
was a bit
You
harder to
know.
play in Wembley on the street because you get run over.
Yeah, yeah.
But we had, I mean, we'd go round the corner into the cul-de-sac and play football until we got chased away by the grumpy old buggers.
Oh yeah. We had the same thing.
Yeah, but it,
Mrs. Phelan down the square in Kilmurray Avenue said that she had 3 babies come early because of me kicking a ball against her gate. Now, it wasn't just me. It was my brother Dermot and Ronnie
Yeah,
Walsh and Gussie
yeah,
Donovan and Des Kennedy. We were all at fault for it because we used to play in the square. You
yeah.
know,
yeah.
it was a nice little spot to play in. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, so you know, but there was times when everything was great till you hit the window, and then
You
Yeah.
broke a
they
window
came
when you
out the
broke
door and away you went.
when you broke a window, the soccer was over then.
Oh yeah,
And when you compare that to now, you never see kids playing out on the street, do
no,
you? And I know it's different times and all the rest of it, but is it really that different?
It shouldn't be, but it is, unfortunately. Just a few more bits and pieces of the soccer thing. Luis Diaz apparently has left Liverpool for Bayern Munich for 65 million euro, and Felix has left Chelsea. Was he using Felix? He's gone to Al Nasser on the Saudi Arabian league for 43 million euros. So there's been a few changes. Although Chelsea have bought quite a few players, you know, themselves anyway. So although Felix is, I thought he was a good player. Luis Diaz will be. I thought he was a terrific player myself, but that's just me, you know.
I
I think,
don't.
I think, I think he'll be missed at Liverpool, you know.
Uh, I just thought it was strange that that they were willing to let him go, and I think
Yes.
he saw the writing on the wall with what they were signing, and I think, you know, I read an article somewhere last year when Arne Slot first moved to Liverpool. He did not rate the forwards that Liverpool had.
That's right. Remember the long negotiation with Salah?
Yeah, and he had something. He didn't like the style of the guys that they had, and he wanted to bring some of his own in, but at that time he wasn't able to. But you
You,
know, to have to win the league like they did, and then to go out and sign as many players as they have this
now,
summer, what's that saying to the rest of the squad?
well, it's saying that I think that Salah is on his final season with Liverpool. That's my reading of it myself. Now that I know, but that's the way I'm reading it now, and I'm saying that you have Luis Diaz and Nunes. Is Nunes gone as well?
Did Nunes leave? I didn't see if that if
I
he
think
left or
he's.
not.
I think he
I,
has.
I
I
think
think
he's out.
he's
I
gone.
think he's
Is he?
got 1 foot out the door anyway. I
Yeah.
think because
I
he's
think
not.
he's gone to Portugal. Is he somewhere? I'm not too sure of that now.
Do you
Now,
think?
Derwynne,
Do you think
we
it's
have we
go
have
on?
a special memory for Derwynne. Well, for all soccer lovers.
But there were an awful lot of guys trying to break your leg.
Oh, they tried, yeah, but I'm Irish and too quick for it.
To George Best. Fitzpatrick. Best going in on it. Best! Oh, beautifully taken by Best! Breaking. And in a great position to break too. This looks bad. What a great goal!
Give it the corner and it's been taken. George Best. So two dummies and now has made a chance for himself. His hat-trick!
Paddy Crane is an old friend of mine, and you all know him. He's the only Scotsman I know that travels with an Irish passport. And he told a lovely story about Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton waiting for a pass, and they're all screaming and shouting at me. And they're all, swearing and doing this and that. And all of a sudden, Bobby's gone, "You greedy little Irish, what a great goal."
There was Jordan the lead, but I mean, in my mind, he was the greatest soccer player I ever saw live. Though playing, I saw him playing live, and he was the greatest soccer player I ever saw myself. Even when at the end of his career, he could do things with a soccer ball that was just out of this world. There's no doubt about it. A natural gifted player. There aren't many of them around today. I'm afraid there are a few.
Can you
All right.
imagine, Joe, can you imagine him out there on those perfect pitches as well?
Oh yeah. I just wonder what he would have been like if he was Brazilian or Argentinian or German.
Dutch.
Dutch. The Dutch system would have been perfect for him because he could do. I mean, he could do everything. I mean, there'll be people out there. And I was thinking about this the other day, ironically, and I was thinking about George. I mean, George could tackle. He could head the ball. He was quick. He was fast. He could dribble. He could pass. He could shoot. He could cross. Like I said, he could tackle. So he had an engine that could run all day long. Yeah. So if you were to look at him in today's game, he could have been a wing back. He could have been a full back. He could have been a midfield player. He could have been a number 10 midfield player. He could have been a number 8 midfield player. He could have been, he could have been, it could have been a right winger, a left winger. I mean, when you're talking about inverted wingers now, I mean, who would have been better than him? At that, he could play centre forward, the drop off centre forward, or he could get in behind people. Yeah. I mean, the things that he could do and his capabilities were absolutely, to me, were amazing. And I just, who would I liked and seen him play for? And you might think this is funny, Leeds United.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that Leeds United team,
Yeah.
he would have been absolutely brilliant.
You're talking about the Leeds United team with Giles and
Bremner.
Giles and Best and Bremner and
Peter
midfield.
Lorimer, Alan Clark.
Peter,
Yeah,
Alan Clark, Mick
Smith.
Jones, Eddie Gray. And
Yeah.
George Best was Eddie Gray, and better, but with
Vision.
well, no, he had Eddie Gray suffered from injuries. George was blessed that he didn't get caught as often as Eddie did. Eddie Gray was a brilliant player, absolutely
Outstanding.
brilliant player, and so when he was fit, when he was able to stay fit, and people were not kicking the bejesus out of him every game, and he could stay fit. Cloughy said about him, if you were a racehorse, you'd be put down, because he was injured so many times. But that was just the nature of the way he played and what he was. I mean, he was as brave as a lion, and he paid the price for it. Now, George was as brave as a lion, but George could ride tackles. I mean, you've seen in some of these things.
He anticipated the tackle.
He did. He could glide over him, and he could
slide away around him. Yeah, he was.
There's a great clip where Ron Harris is just chasing him around. But literally, it's about a 30-minute clip where he just turned Ron Harris inside out.
But every team in the old First Division in those days had players like that at the back.
Oh, they had
fullbacks that would break you in half. I mean, the old wooden fence that that went round with the
advertising board.
I mean, the manager used to say to the fullbacks, "Make chips of him."
Yeah.
It meant put them through the fence. Because that was just the way it was, and for those guys to survive as long as they did, playing like that in a league like that was just amazing.
Of course, Man United had a few of their own. They had Nobby Styles, of course. As you know.
Yeah.
Man United
Well, I mean, that's what they said. The joke was that everybody had 2 or 3 hard men. Leeds had 11 of them.
Of course, Joe, you ran away from a few of them, didn't you, in Leeds?
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to play against a few of them, and I played with a few of them. I played with actually 3 European Cup winners, Nobby Styles, Shea Brennan, and Tony Dunn.
Tony Dunn and Shea Brennan were very good players.
And in the Markets Field as well. So there.
Lovely guy.
So that was something. And those guys were just they're just like the 3 of us sitting here, and they'd BS with you all day long. Just great guys, no airs or graces. Some of the finest people that you could meet, and just deserved everything they got. Brilliant players.
SportsView is a program here every Monday night. Don't forget to press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our channel, and all the programs are up on our YouTube channel as well. Formula 1 was in Belgium, famous track over the weekend. The usual procession: Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen, and Russell. You could name out the top 5 finishers in nearly all the races, and they are Piastri, Norris is a very good driver. They all are really, Piastri leads the World Championship on 266. They're halfway through the season. Norris on 250, Verstappen on 185, and Russell on 157. They're leading the Drivers' Championship. Well, we had the second test, which the referee gave to the Lions, according to all the sports headlines down in Australia last Saturday. Did anybody see it?
I watched the highlights. But I mean, I didn't think it was like a dodgy decision. Did you?
I don't know. I think the try where your man jumped over the other one, the third try they got should have been disallowed. You can't do that in the rules of rugby union. You can't jump over tacklers. You just simply can't dive over them. If that happened anywhere else on the field, there'd be a penalty given to the opposing team, and there wasn't. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win or anything. I'm saying those two decisions really affected the team. That try that was allowed, and they jumped over them, and the try at the end, I don't know really what the controversy is about because I've looked at it a few times myself, and I saw it in real time as well, and
Do you know the thing that annoys me about rugby is that I know we talk about it all the time about it just being crash bang wallop.
yeah.
When you think about it, like the level of injuries must be going through the roof because they are getting bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. But the sport itself is kind of encouraging that crash bang wallop all the time, isn't it?
Well, you have before you had a distinction between the backs and the forwards. You had eight forwards and seven backs, and you knew the backs immediately by looking at them, by the physicality of them, the layout of them. They were fast, thin, fit, and the pack were lumbering and heavy and all of that. But today they're all the same. They're all when you have backs 6'7" and 6'8" and 17 or 18 stone like.
But when you were a kid, and when you think back to Six Nations or Five Nations and the 70s and the 80s, they didn't clear out the way they clear out now in rucks and mauls, do they?
No.
I mean, you've got guys running at you from 20 yards away at full speed, and their only job is to knock the other bloke over, isn't it? To knock him away.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, that again, if you said the levels of concussions and all these head injuries and everything that they keep talking about, well, surely that would be one rule that you'd stop, wouldn't you? Because they're leading with their heads. There's no doubt about that.
Well, when you're tackling a person, the first part of your body that goes into the person is your head.
Yeah.
It's a physical, contact. So it's the first part. I don't really know what can be said. I think what they're talking about, the penalty is the lead up to the penalty. When George Smith said that the Australian who was cleared out, remember, he was tackled and knocked back by a crash into the clear out before they scored the penalty, before they scored the try. That's the bone of contention about that,
But when you watch it, all he did was what he did that clear out motion the way they're taught to do it. But you do sit there and I don't understand it. I mean, you go, well, if you want to stop all these head injuries and concussions, wouldn't you be going, well, there's a part of the game that the game could, I think, do without, because it just wraps everybody in, doesn't it?
It does.
It just becomes like another scrum.
The biggest problem in rugby, one of the problems is the ruck. The ruck is the loose play in rugby, I think myself, And
but even when you watch them do that running maul thing, where they're joining in at the back of the type thing.
Yeah.
But if you watch the other team who are trying to stop that momentum, they're doing exactly what we've just talked about. They're leading with their heads into the backs of their own players.
Yeah.
And the game's riddled with all this concussion and this, this brain damage and everything else. And
the Australians were beaten by 29-26, which means that the third test is a meaningless match now because it's over,
Yeah.
What does the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia mean for the world of rugby? I don't know. What did it bring to world rugby? Did it improve it? Did it make it more attractive. I don't know. You know, really. I think it's, as I said in the start, I think it's just a holiday and a thank you for the Six Nations Cup going out to. That's a glorified holiday and a promotion of the sport of rugby. You know.
Well, it's a little bit different now because, I mean, it used to be hugely important at one stage because you'd never get to see Australians or New Zealanders or South Africans coming over here, or I say over to here, I mean, to Europe to play. And the Lions certainly, English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh players going to New Zealand, the opposite way and playing. So that was a great thing to have, both hemispheres traveling to the other place to play games. But now that you've got the World Cup, it changes the importance of it. Not that being a British Lion is any less important.
You as well, Joe. You're right there about it because you see the championship on our television screens between Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa and Argentina. You watch that championship.
But those autumn internationals don't help.
No.
Because Wales will definitely have New Zealand, they'll definitely have South Africa, and they'll definitely have Australia come and visit. And then they'll throw in, a silly team. Could be
Portugal or someone. Yeah.
But I mean, those tours, I call them tours because they're those autumn internationals. They'll play England, they'll play Ireland over the course of 3 weeks, won't they? Or Scotland, it's cherry picked, isn't it?
It is. I don't know who's coming out this year, but I think the best team in world rugby today at the moment are South Africa. I can't see any team beating them on their day. They're just, and they really are very good. I love watching them. I love watching South Africans. I think Argentina are after improving, and they're a coming force myself. I think they are Argentina.
Well, Argentina have got better since playing in the Southern Championship.
Yeah, they've improved.
South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia, they've improved, haven't they?
So good luck to the Lions anyway. Good luck to them next Saturday. I think Australia will probably win the third test. It's not much good, But they did play good rugby, Australia. They did play good rugby in the first half and for most of the second half. Anyway, the Tour de France finished yesterday in Paris, and Tadej Pogacar of Slovenia won his fourth Tour de France. Our own Ben Healy, it's nice to see a green, white and gold flag up there, finished in the top 10. He had a terrific tour. He won the stage and he was second in another one. And he won a €20,000 prize for being one of the most, I didn't think they had a prize for one of the most aggressive attacking cyclists in the race. He was number one in that category, and he won the prize. Which was a nice bit of money, €20,000, which meant you can share the podium as well at the end. That's just about it. But well done to the winner, and well done to Ben Healy as well.
Interesting bit on ITV4 about that, which they filmed it. Really interesting thing yesterday about who's the greatest of all time. Is it Pogacar or is it Eddie Merckx? And I didn't realise Eddie Merckx got done for drug taking in '68.
He did?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He did?
He got done twice in his career for doping. And he spent, I know it's 1968, it's all different, but he got banned for 2 weeks. And they were measuring Pogacar against Eddie Merckx, and all of that came out. And when you're like, well, I didn't know that. So,
but the sport itself, though. Are they all tainted by the same brush?
Well, I think myself, I have no evidence for it. I think myself that cycling has improved an awful lot. And of course, one of the teams that's not talking about anymore now, that's no longer participating in Tour de France, the Sky team.
Right.
I
But
mean,
that's
they'll,
they're
yeah, they,
Ineos now, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
the Ineos Grenadiers, aren't they?
Yeah. But I see he's in trouble. He might be in trouble.
Who?
Brailsford.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about ousting him because that thing that Paul Kimmage wrote about the doctor that was a part of the Sky team back in the day is still involved with Ineos in some way,
Well, the
or
most
is interacting with some of their staff apparently or stuff like that. So, and now this guy has disappeared really quickly after that article came out by Kimmage. And of course, you know what he's like. He's like a dog with a bone every time he hears anything or he sees anything like that.
He's
Because
right
he
about it.
absolutely, well, he absolutely detests any of the drug cheats and what have you. And he's written, I don't know if you've read all these articles about it, but he's written articles of numerous cyclists that have suffered in the finish, and actually rugby players. He wrote one about a French rugby player.
Well, I tell you, Paul Kimmage wrote about doping in Irish rugby. Remember a couple of years ago, and the whole media went silent about it. I mean, to a man and a woman, the whole media, print and broadcast, wouldn't even discuss it.
Yeah, but it's like doping in horse racing.
Oh, it should have.
They won't talk about it. They go after all the little guys.
Yeah,
the small yards. They'll go after them and they'll ban them and they'll do this to them and take away their license. But the big guys.
You're right. So the prime example of doping in sport is Yannick Sinner in tennis.
Right.
They tried their level best to cover it up, and then when they had no choice, only admit it, and then they didn't penalise him for failing 2 dope tests, not for 2 dope tests. They gave him a ban between the 2 Grand Slams. They gave that fitted in between the 2 Grand Slams. And they gave Simona Halep in Romania, who was admittedly now she was at the end of her career, they gave her a 4-year ban.
Yeah.
A 4-year ban. They gave Yannick Sinner a few months, you know.
But
and
didn't the 2 winners of Wimbledon this year?
Dopers, what's her name? The woman's, what's her name? Iga Swiatek of Poland failed the drugs test. She won the women's and Sinner won the men's.
Yeah.
So what can you say about doping in sport? It's as bad as ever. You could say that. You could say that when the Sky team were in cycling, you could say, I never saw so many cyclists that suffered from asthma. They had to get their medication.
Right.
Or a heart problem.
So many of them are a heart problem. Yeah, thanks, me for saying that. Or a heart problem. They had to get their medication.
I mean, there was back in the late 70s, there was one team that was an Eastern Bloc team in the Tour de France, and they lost 2 riders, and they died in their hotel room, and then they substituted 2 other riders and pretended they were those 2 that had died, but they died. They died because they were having a complete blood transfusion in their hotel room.
Yeah.
Because they were absolutely high as kites on whatever.
The transfusion was.
Isn't that what happened with Lassie Viren?
Yeah.
He never competed between Olympics.
Yeah.
No.
And what he did was he had his blood swapped out.
He cleaned his system and ran again.
Yeah.
But you saw the Chinese athletes when Sonny O'Sullivan was at her peak. The Chinese athletes entered one 5,000-meter race and they came first, second, third, and fourth. Sonny came fifth and never heard of again.
Yeah.
Never competed in the circuit. You know, the circuit they go around every year to different meets to
That Diamond League thing.
Yeah.
Diamond League. But the doctor who was involved in regular cheating was that doctor and another chap, a chemist in Oregon. In Oregon.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah, do you remember him, Joe?
He was Brazilian, wasn't he?
Was he Brazilian?
Yeah.
He was the Lance Armstrong one, wasn't he? He's
I
the
He was
think
link
Lance.
with
but-
Lance Armstrong.
But he had his own thing. He was down at the Nike Center in Portland,
Yeah.
or wherever it is in Oregon down there.
The other.
And oh God, I'm trying to think of his name now.
Anyway, he trained, or I know, train would be a different word. He trained a lot of athletes without him for
Went there
educated.
to work with him.
to be educated.
Educated which anodine to take.
Mo Salah was with him before the London Olympics for months and months. I'm not saying Mo Salah was a drug chief. He was a very talented runner, but he spent a bit of time there as well, and a lot of the gold medal winners did. As it transpired after, with that chap in the Prefontaine meeting, and they have every year out the big athletics scene they have out in Oregon, But it's something that there's two sports now I always have a jaundice look at. One of them is swimming. I always have a jaundice look at swimming when people are eulogizing over the new world record. On the new world record in women in athletics, you see her. She was failed a drugs test. She broke the world marathon record from Kenya. I forget her name, but she's from Kenya. She's banned recently. She failed a drugs test, but she could do with a bit of food as well as drugs in her system. She's very thin altogether.
Bit of
Very,
liver
very
and
thin.
chips,
Huh?
Bit of liver and chips.
Yeah, they could have a feed of liver and chips. You're dead right, Derwynne.
Well, the one there was that they had a whole system set up where they had two hotels, and when they were one of the hotels would be where they would get whatever they were given, and then they would be sent to another hotel, right? And when they came to their drug tests, to have their drug tests, then they would send them to the hotel that they weren't at.
Yes.
And that way they escape. That way they escape getting the drugs. So they just move them backwards and forwards to the different places, and they give them the address where they were staying, but they really weren't staying there.
Yes,
and the Russian Olympic team were passing it through the wall, weren't they? Their samples.
Did you ever see that program, the Icarus Project?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's.
I think that the Irish soccer team would need some of what they were taking anyway, And well done. Of course, Evan Ferguson is on a loan spell to AS Roma, and in their first friendly match, he scored 3 goals and laid on the fourth. They won 4-0 against the second or third division side, Evan Ferguson, and they were all chanting his name after the match. We wish him well. Hopefully, he might rekindle his touch and his career at Roma.
But again, you talk about that, right? We're talking about Evan Ferguson here, a young fella.
Yeah.
Right? That he does some good things at Brighton, right? He has a breakout. But then we think he's the saviour of Irish football because he can score a couple of goals here and there. And the pressure that's heaped on him by people is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. To think that
and he must feel it. He must feel it as well, because when he's brought onto the team, he's expected to score immediately.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. the expectation that happens is as soon as somebody does well, then, I mean, he hasn't learned the tip of your finger about the game of football yet. You know, he has got so much growing to do in the game that he is going to be a terrific player. But to be expecting him to be all this in a bag of chips is kind of ridiculous in my mind.
Too much. I think the move to Roma would be a good one. Should be a good one for him.
Out of the spotlight, you're away from the Premier League. You're not getting that anymore.
I think, on the other hand, I think there'll be a lot of expected of Rory Delap in Chelsea this year. You know.
Yeah, there will be.
But he's a different character than Ferguson. He seems to be able to handle it up to now, and I don't know. And hopefully,
he's a bit of a different type of player as well. So
he is.
You know, he's not the same. But I mean, look at the lad that's playing for Ireland now that went to Holland.
Oh, Try Parrott.
Right. There's another lad. I mean, people are talking about him. I mean, it doesn't work out for him in England. He goes over there, and his whole career is reignited, which is fantastic. I mean, but he's over there and he's learning. He's out the limelight. He's not at a club. I think he was at Spurs, wasn't he?
Tottenham Hotspur, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, he was
at Tottenham Hotspur, Millwall, Ipswich, MK Dons, Preston North End, Excelsior, and he's now he is at Alkmaar in Holland, in Netherlands. Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting now to see this one. I don't even know how you pronounce his name, but Guy Keres, or whatever it is, that just signed for Arsenal from Porto.
Yeah, the striker. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he already had a go in England. He was at Coventry.
Yeah.
And Coventry let him go because he didn't suit the English game at the time, or they didn't think he did. So he went over. I think he went to Portugal, or he went somewhere else first, and then to Portugal, and then all of a sudden he's become a very, very effective player when you watch him.
Another 100 million, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like Declan Rice. Nobody wants him now.
Well, let's be fair. Declan Rice is a good player.
He is.
I mean, we don't care for him in Ireland because he dumped us and went to England. So and the same with Jack Grealish. But you look at any young lad that is in that situation in this day and age, right? To play for Ireland or England or whatever it is. And now you've got people looking after you. You've got agents that are looking after you. And their only job is to make as much money for you as they possibly can while you're still playing at a high level.
Exactly. That's it.
That's what they're there for. And if he tells you that if you play for Ireland, it might be where your heart is, but the commercial deals that you're going to get there are going to be nothing compared to what you get if you play for England, and England are successful.
Listen to these fellas that wanted to play for Ireland.
If you could have represented any other country, who would it have been?
Probably
Man would be Ireland.
Go on. Would it be?
He's Irish.
Would you?
Of course.
Would you be Ireland, Wayne?
Yeah.
I'd be Italy. I'd be Italy.
That was another one of your big mistakes. You could have played for Ireland.
I'd probably go Italy.
Could you play for Ireland?
I love Italy, yeah. Italy,
yeah, the Italian. Mick called me up.
Mick McCarthy.
How old was you?
Nice guy, apparently.
No, he spoke to Lee Carsley. He spoke to Mick. And I'm close to doing it. And then they called me up to 21s. And I was like, I'm not playing for Ireland 21s. You got me, I'll play for England 21s. And then it never happened. Then obviously went to England.
Wow, that was close,
Wow.
So if they pulled you into the first team, that you would have went.
Probably, yeah.
Gee, wow.
There you are now, Derwynne. There you are now. Well, I remember when that talk was going on before Wayne Rooney played for England seniors. There was a lot of talk to him about because he qualified to play for Ireland as well, in international football. And I'd love to have seen Wayne Rooney and Roy Keane in that team. That's what I was worried about. So, and they're very close at times. They're very close to coming to Ireland, and
That's
it
amazing.
never happened. Huh?
Amazing.
So they've been amazing time to
Wow.
Yeah, no.
There's a different story that could have been written in there.
Yeah, we had golf over the weekend. The newest professional in the ladies golf, Lottie Ward.
Yeah.
Lottie Ward. There's a name to conjure with for the future. She won the Women's Scottish Open, minus 21, 67, 65, 67, and 68. And for a young player, she's terrific. For people who follow, she's a great temperament.
Yeah.
People who knows more about golf than I do said it. Even Laura Davis was eulogizing about her as well. Over the weekend, and she won $300,000 for her weekend's work. Her first paycheck as a professional golfer was a Scottish Open. Leona Maguire for Ireland finished at minus 6. So she had 3 rounds in the 70s, which was she was a joint leader after the first day, but didn't play 71, 73, and 71 her last 3 rounds. But last she finished on the field. At 3M Open was won by Kurt Kitayama. Never heard of him before. I know he's from America. One of the many journeymen in America. Minus 23, he won the 3M Open. Seamus Power from Waterford was playing at that. He finished at minus 13. He finished well up the field, and he had a good weekend as well. Joachim Neiman won the Live Golf over in England the weekend. And
he played great.
He's a terrific golfer. Terrific.
Oh, he played some golf. I tell you what though, there's some life in the old dog with Bubba Watson.
Oh, Bubba Watson! I was going to say that Bubba Watson was runner up at minus 14. I'm telling you, he was always a beautiful golfer. Bubba Watson.
Talented pair of hands he's got. I tell you.
He's just fantastic still.
Like a barn door, like a rusty old barn door. It's not a pretty swing, but he knows how to move the ball near that flag.
And what about the greatest golfer in the Republic of Ireland, Paddy Harrington? Paddy Harrington won the Seniors Open golf
at Sunnydale.
Just outside London, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sunnydale. In Berkshire. Berkshire, yeah. In Sunnydale, and he won that. He won $381,000 for his weekend at the age of 53. Well done, Paddy Harrington. Now he has 6 majors, 3 as a senior, and 3 as an ordinary golfer. So there you go.
Have you seen the clip with him as being interviewed?
No?
I love the way Pat says that one. 3 as a senior and 3 as an ordinary golfer. I just love the way that one trips off his stuff. He's only an ordinary golfer. He only won 3 majors.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of that guy, that coach's name, Salazar.
Salazar. Spot on. That was his name.
A minute ago, as I was thinking about stuff.
Joe.
But so Paddy, as an ordinary golfer,
There's a great clip going around on YouTube with Jimenez at Sunnydale, and he's had a bit of a bad finish on Saturday, and some reporters grabbed him by the changing rooms and literally said, "Are you going to go back on the practice ground, or are you going to be thinking about what you did wrong tonight and everything else?"
Yeah.
Jimenez is just brilliant. He just stood there and he went, "No, I'm going to go and have a really nice dinner, some bottles of red wine. I'm going to have a couple of nice cigars.
And go to bed
again tomorrow and go again." But the way he said it was just like the guy was desperate for him to go. Yeah, I'm really disappointed. You know, all tripe that they throw out. And he was like, "No, I'm going to have a really nice dinner, a few bottles of Spanish Red, and a couple of cigars, and then go to bed."
Well, Jimenez is a character. It's one of the best characters. I know he's brilliant. It's absolutely
Every
brilliant.
time I see Jimenez, he always gives me a great big cigar. I never use them. I mean, I always give them back to him. But he's like, when you have a cigar with me. And you're like, no, it's all right. I'm all right, thanks, mate.
But you know, he had a very good career as well. He's having another good one on the Cena tour, you know, Jimenez himself.
He was only ordinary as well.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I saw him. Didn't he win that? Was it last week or the weekend before that he won?
He won out in the US, didn't he?
Yeah. Was it in the playoff? He won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched him through that. I love watching him play.
He
is just such a character. I just love it.
Yeah, and Bernard Langer has a unique record as a golfer. I know he's on the Cena tour. He's 68 years of age now, Bernard Langer. He's won a tournament every single year of his golfing career. Every year he's won at least once.
Wow.
I mean, he's just that was
I played with Langer in the World Under-25s in Nimes in the south of France.
Yeah.
And I played with him. He must have been, I was about 18, so he would have been about 21, 22, if not maybe 23. But it was right in the time when he had the yip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't watch him. I watched him knock it off the second green from about 20 feet. He knocked it off the back of the green. And you don't know what to say to the guy. You know when you're like, wow, oh, wow, look at that. And then it was bad. I mean, really bad. But him going to Sunningdale this week for the seniors was the European Open used to be played at Sunningdale.
That's right.
And he walked into the pro shop and there was an old putter in an old barrel. Keith Maxwell, who used to be the pro at Sunningdale, used to have a big old sherry casket, a barrel. And he used to put all his second-hand clubs in this barrel. And Langer went in there, having played a practice round where basically he's yipped it all the way around the golf course. One of the caddies at Sunningdale caddied for him, and he hit it 18 greens, 18 fairways, 18 greens in regulation. And the longest putt he had was 10 feet in a practice round. And he something stupid like 14 free putts.
Oh dear.
He walked into the pro shop at Sunningdale, saw an old centre shafted putter. They used to be, Golden Goose used to have one, and Titleist had one, called a La Fen. And it was a flange, brass headed, centre shafted thing, real old fashioned. And he walked in and it was something like 10 quid or something. And he was like, I'll have a go with this. And he paid for it. He went out, he finished third in the European Open. Putted the lights out of it. Couldn't hold everything he looked at. And that was the whole journey for Langer was around that putter.
Wow. It's amazing because they don't know what causes that, do they?
No, I mean, it's... I mean, most people will tell you it's psychological.
Yeah.
And, they have dart players get it where they can't release the dart.
Yeah.
They don't release it in time.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You can't let the putter release past the ball. And you end up sort of like stopping it and jabbing it. And you lose control of the face. I mean, I've played with a couple of pros who've got it bad and they've knocked it off the side of the green. I mean, it looks like the putter becomes like a snake. It's alive in their hand.
Wow.
To watch, it's the weirdest. I mean, you get the shanks with chipping as well. So you get the yips with chipping. Anything short of a full swing, you're very susceptible to it. I mean, another pro played on tour. can't remember what tournament it was, but he literally was just short of the green in 2. What German Open, it was something like that, and he basically shanked it round the green and came back, picked the ball up, and said to me and the other guy, just said, "Thanks, boys, but that's enough for me." And you stand there as 2 pros on the green watching it, thinking, "I can't watch this. This guy's he's self-destructing."
Yeah.
But if you watch Matt Fitzpatrick now, so Matt Fitzpatrick is a little bit, there's a question mark on it, because he now chips cack-handed.
Oh.
So instead of gripping it like he would normally do it, he puts his left below his right and chips around the green, and he's brilliant at it.
Didn't he win the US Open, did he?
Yeah, I think he's won 2 US Opens, I think.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he did, yeah. Anyway, we're just teeing up a bit on boxing. Clarissa Shields beat Lenny Daniels in the women's heavyweight boxing. Did you only see that over the weekend? She won it, and again, fair play to her. She didn't manage to knock her out, but she won the 10 rounds, 10 out of 10.
I didn't see the first one, but I saw it. Jackson trying to load up some shots here. He's got it back in the ropes. Nails him with a pretty good shot. And he's taking it just a
Well, Andy Lee was losing that fight, if anyone remember, and he won the world middleweight championship at that time in Madison Square Garden, and he caught him coming in with a beautiful right, boom, and that was the end of it. I saw him doing the same thing in the European middleweight fight down here in Limerick. It was fought out, and the fight was held out in UL, Joe, in Limerick, and he was way behind in that fight as well, but he managed to knock the man out, bang. Knocked him out in the 7th or 8th round.
Have you watched that program about Fury and Usyk, Undisputed?
No.
No.
You want to watch that on Netflix? You want to watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, Usyk, he's a machine. I mean, he came through that Ukrainian/Russian boxing federation and had all that training and psychological training and everything that they did for it. And he's gone through every weight that he's ever gone through since he was like 14, and always been number 1 in every category that he's moved through. And if you watch that program, it's a documentary about the fight in Riyadh, and it's fascinating. You watch it. I mean, every single commentator that talks about Usyk he's a chess player. He's moving you around the ring for a punch that's coming in eight punches time.
Well, Usyk has the best footwork, in my opinion, since Muhammad Ali in the ring as a heavyweight. Best footwork, absolutely, Usyk has, And at the moment, there isn't a boxer that I know of that could beat him at the moment. He's 38 years of age. I think he's going to have one more fight and retire then, I think he's smart and intelligent enough not to go on too long. I think he will retire,
So do you think Fury has a chance against him if he comes out?
No, Fury has the size and the boxing, but he doesn't psychologically. He's that strong. Mentally, he's a strong fighter. So that's his Achilles heel, in my opinion. I mean, he beat Deontay Wilder, over 3 fights. He beat him, But I don't think he'd meet Usyk again anywhere.
I don't think he's mentally strong enough to fight. Yeah. Not that I know anything, but I mean,
well, I don't know, but I don't see any boxer at the moment in that category to beat Usyk.
No.
And Usyk didn't say as much, but his backroom team did. They're not. There's only one box. He's going to take one more fight. He has to fight Joseph Parker anyway as a mandatory defense, obviously. But I don't think Parker, except Parker will cut him with a punch and knock him out. Other than that, which can happen in heavyweight. Other than that, I don't see Parker beating him either. You know, if he fights him, I don't see it. You know,
it's happened before, though, hasn't it?
Oh,
when the guy gets lucky and gets one punch in there, and
look at what happened in 1964. Sonny Liston went through the heavyweight division in the late 50s, early 60s, beat everybody that stood in front of him. Everyone beat them all. This young boxer, Cassius Clay, with a lot of backing, a lot of money behind him, came up to fight him, and they all said he was mad to fight Sonny Liston. He was 8-1 on. That's the price he was. Of course, a lot of people we heard afterwards, up in Harlem especially, had backed him. Malcolm X was his spiritual advisor.
You want to watch, there's a really good film stroke documentary thing about Sam Cooke. And it's not just about Sam Cooke singing and his records and all the rest of it.
Mm.
How the conspiracy theory is how him, Malcolm X, and then Martin Luther King got assassinated because the mob, the mafia, basically was running the music industry in America. So all the record companies, and it's a really interesting show. I think it's called The Two Deaths of Sam Cooke. So Sam Cooke grew up gospel, all the rest of it, but there's a massive involvement from Muhammad Ali with Sam Cooke. They were great friends, and that the whole thing, how he ended up getting shot in some hotel, believe it or not, the same hotel that Martin Luther King got assassinated in.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
You want to watch that program? It's brilliant. It's the Two Deaths of Sam Cooke. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I must look that up. So
brilliant,
yeah,
because it shows how
Malcolm
X influenced Cassius Clay, how Sam Cooke got involved with it all, the civil rights and all the rest of the stuff. But what an interesting program! The link between Sam Cooke and Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King, fascinating. And there's a quarterback in there, Jim Brown.
Oh, running back, yeah.
Yeah, and how he was linked into it.
And Jim Brown was very big.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, he was. He's a big Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, guy. And it shows how the CIA with J. Edgar Hoover, or the FBI with J. Edgar Hoover, how they were linked into it, and how the mob was linked into it. And there's massive question marks on who killed Sam Cooke.
Yeah, and the same about Malcolm X. The CIA were outside his house all the time.
Yeah,
they saved him his wife's life from the fella.
You've got to always watch it. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant program. But Pat, you'll love it because there's a huge section to do with Muhammad Ali. How he got I nearly want to say got brainwashed by Malcolm X, but
well, he didn't get. He met Elijah Muhammad, the leader of of that particular number 7 synagogue it was, and he met the leader, and they gave him his name. His name was not Muhammad Ali. His name was Muhammad X. You know, just the name they gave Muhammad X, the same as Malcolm X, and he was known as Muhammad X for a good while, but then he changed to Muhammad Ali himself. You know, but to give a name, but to make a full name of it. But it was an interesting connection, very interesting connection. You know, he didn't go on that famous march to Washington where I have a dream speech was. You know,
yeah.
He wasn't as political at that time as in the time the march happened, when they were lobbying hard to get the civil rights bill passed. But since Gael, that's for another day, lads. We've come to the end of another edition of SportsView. So to Derwynne and to Joe, lads, thanks very much, and we'll see you all again next Monday night, like Owner's Day, and happy sports for the rest of the week. It's definitely after coming home for the second time.